Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to show you all the new features that were added to Minecraft 1.19, the wild update. So if you like Minecraft videos like this one, then please make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Minecraft 1.19 videos and future 1.20 videos. And so today I will be taking a look at every single new feature that was added in Minecraft 1.19. And so we'll go through all the new blocks, all the new items, the new mobs, the new particles, the new advancements, the new paintings and more. And so we'll start with the blocks, but if you want to see something specific, I will divide this video up into chapters so you can head straight to which new feature you want to see. And so as for blocks, first of all we have the new froglight blocks. There are three different variants. There is the ochre froglight, that is the yellow one over here. The verdant froglight, the green one, and the pearlescent froglight is this purple pink one on the end. And you obtain these blocks when a frog eats a magma cube. And so if a orange frog eats a magma cube, you get the ochre froglight. If a green frog eats a magma cube, you get the verdant froglight. And if a worm or white frog eats a magma cube, you get the pearlescent froglight, and they emit a light level of 15. Then there is the frogspawn block. This is placed on the water by a frog if you breed it using slime balls. And after a while, this frogspawn block will summon in multiple tadpoles. Then we have the mangrove leaves, and they of course generate as part of the mangrove trees. And if you use bone meal on the mangrove leaves, a mangrove propagule will grow underneath. And the mangrove propagule has various stages. You can use bone meal to advance it to a new stage or just wait for a while. And this is the final stage of the mangrove propagule. If you now harvest it in survival mode, you get this block, which you can place down like this. And which, if bone meal, turns into a new mangrove tree. And then from the mangrove tree you can get a whole lot of different blocks. So of course there is the mangrove log, which you can strip using an axe, then you get this block over here. You can also turn the mangrove log into mangrove wood, which has the same texture on all sides, which again you can strip to get this block over here, the stripped mangrove wood. Furthermore, you can also turn the mangrove wood into mangrove planks, like this one, just like any other type of wood in the game. And of course the planks you can turn into the slabs, mangrove slabs over there, the mangrove stairs, mangrove fence gate, a mangrove sign, a mangrove door. This is a very nice texture. And the mangrove trapdoor. And then there's two more. That's the mangrove button and the mangrove pressure plate right there. So those are all the mangrove blocks. But then there are a couple more parts to the trees we already saw back there. So these trees have roots, which is this block over here, mangrove roots. And if you go inside, we'll actually see it has an extra texture on the inside here, to make it look more like roots from the outside. And you can actually waterlog this block just like that, and the water won't flow out, which is quite unique. Then this is muddy mangrove roots. This is a block that generates if the roots of a mangrove tree go down into the mud layer on the floor in the mangrove swamp. As you can see happen right here, that's some muddy mangrove roots down here. And so speaking of the mud floor of the mangrove swamp, this is the mud block. And so apart from finding it in the mangrove swamp, you can also get mud by using a water bottle on dirt, coarse dirt or rooted dirt. And if you place mud on top of dripstone and let the water drip out, it will turn into clay. And the packed mud is crafted by using 1 mud and 1 wheat. And it can be used to create mud bricks by putting 4 of them together in a crafting table. And then the mud bricks have various different variants, like the mud brick slabs, the mud brick stairs, and also the mud brick wall. And then there are also some deep dark related blocks. We'll get into the deep dark biome and the mangrove biome a little bit more later on in the video. But here is reinforced deepslate. This is a block that generates as the portal frame for the ancient city structure. We'll also see that later on in the video, but that's the reinforced deepslate block. And this block cannot be obtained in survival mode, but can be broken after mining it for around 82 seconds. But it still will not drop anything. And then there's also 4 sculk blocks, so this is the usual sculk block. The sculk block will drop experience if you mine it without silk touch. And then we have the sculk vein. This works like the glow lichen block, in that it can be placed on every side of a block. And you will need silk touch to obtain the sculk vein block. This is the sculk catalyst, which can spread sculk vein, sculk shrieker and sculk sensors if a mob dies near it and its experience gets into the sculk catalyst. And finally there is indeed the sculk shrieker. which if it gets activated through a sculk sensor, it will shriek, and after it has shrieked 3 times, the warden will be summoned in, but only if you find it naturally placed in your world. If you take it with you to your base, the warden will not get summoned in. And so those are all the new blocks added to the wild update. Let's now get into the new items. And so of course all the blocks have item forms as well, but we'll just go over the other items that we haven't covered yet. Those are all in this chest over here. So let's grab them and take a look. So first of all, there's the bucket of tadpole. We'll get into the mobs later on, but this can be used to store tadpoles in a bucket. You can capture tadpoles like many of the other aquatic mobs using a water bucket. Then there is the disc fragment, which you can find in the ancient city structure in the loot chests over there. And it is used to craft the 5 music disc, which is the new music disc added in this update. And this new music disc actually is similar to the 11 music disc in that it tells a story instead of actually being a nice song. Then there is the echo shards, which once again are loot you can find in the ancient city structure. And if you surround a normal compass with these echo shards, you'll create a recovery compass, which you can use to travel to your last point of death. And so it'll be useful if you want to get your items back before they despawn after 5 minutes. Then we also have 8 new goat horns, so these will drop if a goat rams a specific block, like for example an ore block, stone or packed ice, or a log. And so these play a sound if you right click them. And so the 4 regular ones are ponder, sing, seek and feel. You can get these from any goat or also from the pillage outposts, but the other 4, admire, call, yearn and dream, can only be obtained if a screaming goat drops its horn, and the screaming goat is the rare version of the normal goat. Then if there's a new wood type, of course there's also a new boat, so that is the mangrove boat over here. That's nothing special, but this is more special. So a new item here added in Minecraft 1.19 is the boat with chest. It's available for every type of wood, and it's exactly what you expect it to be. It's just a boat with a chest in it. This means that only one entity can fit in the boat, and you can open the chest by pressing E. There we go. So you can store more items when you're traveling by boat in your world. And then there's also the 4 different spawn eggs for the 4 different mobs added to this update. That's a nice segue to go over to the 4 new mobs of this update, which first of all is the winner of the mob vote, the allay. That is this mob over here. And the allay can actually be used to pick up items. So for example, if we give it the allay spawn egg, throw around some allay spawn egg items, then it will pick them up and go over to its owner and throw them back at them. And you can also link them to node blocks to make it drop its items at the node block. And the linking will look something like this. And then that will be the favorite node block of this allay for around 30 seconds. And there we go, we'll see it drop its items near the node block. Very nice. Then there is the tadpole, which of course we already mentioned before with the frogspawn. The frogspawn summons in multiple tadpoles, which is a mob that looks something like this. These are hunted by axolotl, have 3 hearts of health, and will grow up into frogs after 20 minutes. And depending on in which biome these tadpoles were hatched, they'll turn into one of the 3 different types of frogs. And so if they were hatched in a cold biome, they will turn into a green frog. If they were hatched in a warm biome, they will turn into a white frog. And if they were hatched in any other biome, they'll turn into an orange frog. And so for example, this is the orange frog. Frogs are able to croak, jump, swim and walk on land. They can eat small slimes, which will drop slime balls. There we go. And they can also eat small magma cubes, which again will drop the froglights we saw before in the video. There we go, there is an ochre froglight. Here's the warm frog. It is the white version, this frog right over here. And the cold frog is the green one and looks like this. And then the final mob that was added into the game is of course the warden, which can get summoned in by activating a sculk shrieker. And then it comes out of the ground just like that. It is the first blind mob to be added into Minecraft, but it can hear entities very well and so will attack everything it hears. It can sniff players as well, and it has both a melee and a ranged attack. Furthermore, it also gives you the darkness effect, which we'll cover later on in this video. And it can run very, very fast. Here we can see its ranged attack, which does a whole lot of damage. There we go. And it also gives us a new death message, which is: player was obliterated by a sonically charged shriek. Then next, 4 new paintings were added into the Minecraft 1.19 Wild update, but these are sadly not obtainable in survival mode. If you want to know how to get these, I've made a video on that, link is in the top right of your screen. But these are the new paintings. So this is the water painting. And so these were already in Minecraft Barrack Edition for quite a long time, but they've just been ported over to Java Edition in this update. This is the fire painting. This is the earth painting, and finally there is the wind painting. So these are sort of the element paintings in Minecraft. They're all 2x2 and look very, very nice. And apparently people seem to like the fire painting the most. Then there is one new structure that was added into this update, which is of course the ancient city. If you want to know more about this structure, I've made a video covering all different rooms that can spawn in this structure. Link to it will be in the top right of your screen. And earlier on in this video, we've already seen many of the different items you can get as loot in this structure, like the ochre shards, the disc fragments. And we've also of course seen many of these sculk blocks and the warden already. And so this in the center is the ancient city portal, which contains the reinforced deepslate blocks. Currently the portal doesn't lead anywhere and can't be activated. But below the portal there is a secret redstone room which can activate by activating this sculk sensor down here. Then there are also 2 new biomes in this update. First of all, the deep dark biome, which summons in with some sculk patches, which can also contain sculk sensors and sculk shriekers, and so can summon in the warden. And this is also where the ancient city structure can generate. And then the second new biome is the mangrove swamp, which is this biome right below me currently. It spawns in with a layer of mud on the floor instead of grass and contains many different mangrove trees that we've seen before. We can see it also spawns in with moss carpet and mangrove propagules, vines and grass on the floor. And in the water of the mangrove swamp, tropical fish can spawn. Then there's also one new game rule added to this update, which is the game rule do warden spawning. This is usually just set to true, but you can set it to false if you don't want any wardens to spawn in your world. Then as for commands, there is now locate point of interest, which can locate various different blocks, like for example barrels, composters, bee nests, beehives, but also lightning rods, lodestones and nether portals. Then there's the new place command, which can place various different structures, features, jigsaws and templates. If you want to know more about this place command, I've made some videos on it. Link to those videos will be in the top right of your screen. Then there are also 7 new advancements added to this update. The first one we already saw before in the video, when the allay gave me an item that is you've got a friend in me, have an allay deliver items to you. And then there's also birthday song, which you can get by letting an allay deliver a cake to a node block, like that. Birthday song. If you catch a tadpole in a water bucket, you get bukkit. If you kill a mob near a sculk catalyst, you get it spreads. If you sneak near a sculk sensor, you get the sneak 100 advancement. If you lead every type of frog at least once, there's the second one. And the third one, you'll get when the squad hops into town. And if you get every single type of froglight into your inventory, you'll get with our powers combined. And so those are all the advancements added to 1.19. Then there are also 2 new death messages. One we already saw earlier on in the video, which was player was obliterated by a sonically-charged shriek. And the second death message is very similar, and it occurs if you get damage before the warden kills you with its ranged attack. So let's see that happening here. Let's let the warden hit us first. And then run away, and hopefully it hits us with its ranged attack. Well, it doesn't seem like the death message is working, but it is supposed to be. Player was obliterated by a sonically charged shriek while trying to escape mob. Then next there's also a new enchantment added into the game, which is called Swift Sneak. There are 3 different levels, and you can find this enchanted book in the ancient city structure. So this is an enchantment you can only put on your pants. And so that way it's quite unique because it's the only enchant that does that. And so Swift Sneak just makes it so you will go faster while you are crouching. So this is your normal walking speed. And if you crouch without wearing the pants, you will just be very, very slow. But if you wear the Swift Sneak 3 pants, then you will walk at 75% the speed when you're sneaking. There we go. So you go a bit slower when you're sneaking, but this can also be combined with sprinting, and so this sprint sneaking is actually faster than normal walking. And it can be really useful in the ancient city if you don't want to alert any sculk sensors or wardens. So you can just sneak by and they will not hear you. And this goes way faster than without the shift sneak enchantment. Then there's also a new effect called the darkness effect. It is given to you by the warden and the sculk shrieker. And so this effect will cause this fog effect to occur and your brightness to be set down to moody. And it will also pulsate on your screen just like this. And so especially in the dark ancient cities, this will make it way more difficult to see anything and also way more creepy. Then there are also 4 new music tracks added into the game. So there's Ancestry, which plays in the deep dark. There's Eerie, Firebugs, and Labyrinthine, which play in lush caves, all types of swamps, forests, and jungles, and in the main menu screen. There are a couple new options here as well. In accessibility settings, there is now the darkness pulsing slider, which controls how much the darkness effect pulses when a warden or sculk sensor gives it to you, which you can set all the way to off so that it doesn't happen at all. This will still make your screen darker with the darkness effect, but it will just not pulsate like it was before. In music and sounds, there is now also directional audio, which you can set to on. And so this uses some special type of 3D audio, which you can best experience with headphones, but people haven't really noticed anything different here with this directional audio. Then in chat settings, there is now chat preview, which you can turn off if you want. Since this chat preview allows servers to see your messages when you are typing and not when you send them. And there's also only show secure chat. And so it means that if you set this to on, that in your chat you will only get messages from other players that can be verified to have been sent by the player and have not been modified. And then finally, there's also 5 new particle effects that were added into Minecraft 1.19, the wild update. First of all, there is the sculk soul particle, which is this one. It is emitted by the sculk catalyst when activated by sculk sensors. It looks very similar to the effect of using the soul speed enchant and running on soul sand. Then next there is the shriek particle, which appears from an activated sculk shrieker. Looks like this. There's also sculk charge, which comes from sculk that is spreading through your world. Looks like this. And related to this one is also sculk charge pop, which is the bubbles popping at the end of spreading. Looks like this. And then finally there is the sonic boom particle, which is the particle that is emitted by the warden when it does its ranged attack. And that looks like this. There's first a small part and then it increases in size until it gets to the circle part. There we go. And so that's it. That's all the major new features of Minecraft 1.19, the wild update. There are a couple more technical things that I don't think people are too interested in, but I'll leave a link to the full Minecraft wiki listing everything in this update in the description down below. And if you like this video, then please make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Minecraft 1.90 videos and 1.20 videos in the future. I want to thank my tier 3 member, the Smikkelaar. Thank you so much for becoming a tier 3 member. If you also become a member, click the blue join button below the video to check out the different tiers. But there we go. I hope you all enjoyed this video and hope you all in the next one. So until then, bye bye.